Hello! Welcome to DIY is my happy place. I'm Amy, and today, I don't know if you can tell, but we're on the road. I'm actually at a stoplight right now as we speak, and I'm so excited about today's video. I saw a video of somebody who made a really cool looking popcorn garland decoration, and I love it so much, and I'm just curious if it will actually work. So I'm gonna give it a try, and of course I have to try to see what all I can do using Dollar Tree supplies. So I'm headed to my favorite store, the Dollar Tree. So come on, let's go see what we can do. Actually, what I saw was about 2 seconds of a TikTok video. That's all I saw. And I don't even know where it was, how they did it. So I'm going to try to create it myself. In order to string my Christmas balls, I found this wire gold garland in the Christmas section. And I think this will work perfectly. I love these pearlized pins. And then I'm going to need some straws to create the holes. So all in all, you don't really need these pins, but I thought they were pretty, so I grabbed them. Then I had to go to another store in order to get the insulation foam. Any box store would have it. It costs under $4, so it's reasonable. So these are the main supplies, and then straws, of course. The first thing I did was I put wax paper all over, and you definitely want to wear gloves whenever you're working with spray foam. I've done projects before, and I have to say, it's kind of fun to do. Now, again, I'm making this up as I go along, so we'll see how it goes. The first thing I'm going to do is just create my first little popcorn ball. Now, remember, whatever you spray, it's going to keep on expanding for a little while. So it depends on how big you want your popcorn to be. Now, I will put a straw straight down the middle and just continue doing it. I will say this, once you start with your spray foam, you need to just keep going. I've never had a lot of success with trying to close it off and then come back and doing it again. No, once you start, you want to keep going. And again, make sure you're wearing gloves. I added a little bit of spray foam over the top. Now, as I'm going along, I'm going to keep on making them. I started off and they were a little bit big, and I kept trying to get a little bit smaller, and I got better. There's a little bit of a learning curve. I think I made about 40 popcorn balls with 1 can of spray foam. Now, you want to wait until this foam starts to dry, but isn't completely dry. As soon as it'll hold its shape a little bit, you want to turn those popcorns over, and then the bottom part, as it dries, will kind of puff out too, so it's not just flat on one side. I keep saying popcorn balls because it looks like a ball, but the idea is that we want it to each look like one piece of popcorn, like you would string on a tree, only it's going to be large. These dry pretty quickly. I think I waited about 20 minutes until I turned them over. I started to turn one over within 5 minutes, and it just was not holding its shape. But you do not want to wait too long, because then it'll totally harden up. And you want it to be able to puff out on the other side as well. And then I went ahead and let them dry overnight. I think it would probably dry, depending on your humidity and the temperature of your location, maybe in a couple of hours, but I went ahead and just waited till the next day. Now, you can go ahead and start on the next thing, which is to get your Christmas ball. You can do the smaller size or the larger size, and cut the top off. I just grabbed the top and bent it over, and it popped right off. Then we need a hole on the other side. Now, I like to use this Weller tool, which is a soldering iron. They're actually about the same price as a hot glue gun, but if you don't have one, you can use your hot glue gun too. I will say I've kind of messed up my hot glue gun doing this, so because I do so many things like this, I went ahead and got myself one of these, and I'll put a link in the description below if you're interested in picking one up for yourself. I actually get a few pennies worth of kickback if you go to my link, but you really can pick these up at a lot of different places. I like to get mine on Amazon. And putting the holes in goes really fast. I will say it's pretty fun. Now you'll notice that some of my holes are not perfect. There's one that's particularly wide. I kind of slipped a little bit, but it doesn't really matter because with the fancy gold wire garland that we're using, it will cover up any kind of flaws or errors that you have. Okay, now I went ahead and cut the straws off the edges. Now, initially I was thinking that I could just string the garland through the straw and you wouldn't really see the straw, but I kept seeing the straw. So I finally realized, you know what? I can just pull that straw out because it has already hardened in a position that I need that I can string the wire through. The straws really are just to hold the hole until you get them completely dry. Then go along with a pair of pliers, pull the straws, and now we're ready to start sewing. Only it's not really sewing. I took some tape and a couple of toothpicks, just taped it right onto my wire. I tried wiring it with paper clip, but it was just too big of a hole. It was too big of a knot when it was wired together. And just good old Scotch tape and toothpicks actually worked just fine. There's not a lot of pressure that goes on it. You string the hole in the ball, and then once you pull that through, don't keep pulling on the toothpick, just pull on the wire itself, because the tape doesn't hold real hard, but it's strong enough to be able to pull through, and then you can, cinch it down. It was so fun to make this. I actually sat around watching a football game and stringing my garland, and I thought it would take me hours, and I think I got it done in about 5 minutes. I really like the look of being able to see the gold garland between the Christmas ball and the faux popcorn. And once I had it all strung, I think I ended up using 2 of my gold wires, and they're each 20 foot long. And you could use this for garland on your Christmas tree. You could hang it over mirrors. You could hang it over door frames or along the wall. I love it. Once I got my decorations up. No doubt about it. This has to be one of my favorite DIYs I've ever done. A popcorn cranberry wreath. It's so awesome. You could hang it on the wall, hang it over door frames, or put it right on your Christmas tree. It's the best. Okay, so who's gonna make one? Definitely pass it on, tag a friend. They might wanna make one too. And I cannot wait for our next adventure, and I'll see you again soon. See ya.